And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OC, that break. As we've returned here with the fourth round of the tournament. We've returned with our best of 3 ZvP. Let's go. Let us go. We did have the option to jump into Chan versus Trigger, but we have decided to instead showcase some of the other players, of course, in the group. We're jumping into a ZvP, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Representing Team Hellfire, it is MasTeR. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the pink Zerg player, the land of Colombia, it is eGGz. El Huevito. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Oh, my apologies, as it looks like I did not close the previous Gamba. Un momento. Here we go. Bam. Beautiful. So there we go. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck as we jump into our PvZ. Coming into this, I lean towards MasTeR here just because eGGz has been a little bit more MIA. He's been a little bit less active in recent times. But we'll see. I would love to see eGGz bring it to MasTeR. MasTeR, of course, he's the best Protoss player in all of Brazil. Arguably in all of Latin America. I know that Mute has something to say about that. Mute is a Peruvian Protoss, and he, alongside MasTeR, the top two Protoss players in Latin America. You can make an argument for either one being over the other. I do think that Mute has had some better accolades. He's had some better results in Open Cups. The problem is that MasTeR doesn't play in them. MasTeR does not play in Open Cups, so we have not seen MasTeR as often play against the Koreans and play against the Europeans. So there's a little bit less data to kind of go off of on how MasTeR compares to the rest of the international scene. Regardless, when it comes to Latin America, again, he's on top. And we'll see if eGGz can bring him down. For now, standard opener. Hatch gas pool, standard open out of eGGz. Meanwhile, MasTeR himself going for his own setup as well. Gate expand into Cybercore. So far, so good. Alright, no, oh, sorry. Should fix up our in-game name as well. Bam, beautiful. Good. So far, we do have a Stargate open out of MasTeR. Again, we do expect to see standard play out of MasTeR, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Opening up with his Stargate. And our eyes are on eGGz. We've already seen some aggressive builds out of eGGz in the past. Here he stays. Oh, he stays in. Okay, already. He does stay in gas. By staying in gas, that does mean that he can rush into an early lair. If we go for the early lair, and our eyes are on this hatchery here. Yep, there it is. Early lair timing at 250. We're leaning towards either a Link Queen Nidus all-in or a Drop Lord all-in. The eyes are on this Overlord, as the Overlord does have access to the main. And we should be going for an all-in. So all-in here out of eGGz. We saw this same build against Estrella. Did work against Estrella. We'll see if we can pull this off against MasTeR. As the left side make their way in. They pick off one Link so far. But no scouting. Yeah, no scouting to the main base so far. The lair has not been seen. So far, MasTeR's in the dark, and here come the Lings. We have 16 Lings on the way. Again, it's all or nothing for eGGz. The Overlord is in position to morph into the Dropper Lord. So again, the Dropper Lords are coming. You can see that eGGz, he stays in gas somewhat, so we can afford a Baneling Nest. Or so we can afford the Dropper Lords as well, true. But no Banelings. Not this time. Just purely Ling. Yeah, just pure Ling Flood. And Epsay do get into the mineral lines. Drone's going to be going down at the same time. That means there's less Epsay can to defend. And the first one should fall. Yeah, nice pick off. No shade. No save on the Adept. Oracle does arrive at the same time we go Lings into the main. And probes are going down. Lings, they keep rallying in. As we mentioned in the Estrella series, the NG overcharge is weaker this patch, so the Oracles are weaker as well. Oh, we're getting a lot of damage here. A lot of Lings are falling. Hitting one of the gateways. The gateway cells go down. We need extra Warpins, we need extra Adepts. But without Banelings this time, I mean, now we have a delayed Baneling Nest. Baneling initials now finishing. And we're morphing in Banelings in the main. Again, cheeky play here by eGGz. Very cheeky. Does get scouted. MasTeR does react. Does he notice? I don't think he does. Yeah, deja vu. Banelings are going for the mineral. Sorry, they're going for the pylon. The pylon is going to be knocked down. Yeah, knocks down the pylon. Lings, they flood in. And eGGz, has he done it? The oracles are running out of energy. There's one source to defend. And eGGz, yeah, he has. He has broken the natural. Again, cheeky build. It worked against Estrella, and it's working here against MasTeR as well. Pulls off the surround. Ooh, there is a shield battery. Okay. Yeah, shield battery in the main. We do see the attempted re-wall. Yeah, wall gets knocked down. And once again, the oracles, they're just out of energy. They can't keep this up. Up. Going for another warp in. That is Nartos' pylon. Barely being kept alive. Yeah, but everything gets depowered. No more gateways, no more warp-ins. But we're holding. Okay, MasTeR. Very nice crisis management here. He's holding on. He does re-wall. Oh, God, but there are other ways in. There are other ways in. Things they get dropped off in the main. Banelings are headed for the wall. Very nice force field. Okay. The probes, they defend the main. Force field at the ramp. Oof, Banelings, they crash into the Adept. Yeah, Adept goes down. The Oracle's doing what they can. Banelings are still finding damage. And this still might just be too much. Likewise, Banelings are morphing into the main. They do get focused down, though. That's their MasTeR. Again, pulling off a slightly cleaner defense here compared to Estrella. And the Banelings are too low. Yeah, they're too low on HP. They get focused down. And MasTeR's holding. Wow, MasTeR, he's holding. He survives. There's the overcharge. And again, if eGGz does not kill MasTeR here and now, then that's going to be game. There's another overcharge. Sorry, there's another pulse beam, I should say. And these are waddling in. Up. They're getting into the mineral line. MasTeR pulls away. Oh no! Oh, has to tank one. Yeah, tanks a shot. Banelings are popping off. That's a lot of probes falling. This is getting out of hand. Yeah, 8 probes going down. They try to flood in. God, the SimCity here is so awkward. It's so awkward to move into. Snipes the Cybercore. Another drop into the main. Another drop into the main base. More Banelings morphing in. eGGz doesn't find much damage in the main though. With Banelings, he can try to break down that front door once again, but this time there are sentries, there are force fields. There's one. Oh! Oh my god. Brutal connections. Does barely force field in time, but the Stalkers, they get left out. Yeah, they get locked out in the end. And we can only warp in Zealots. They're not the most efficient units here. They trade. Okay. MasTeR, he's once again, he's barely holding on with the slow lots. He's holding on. And eGGz behind this has no drones. He has 21 workers, he has no economy, he is completely all in, and he's running out of steam. Like, the all in, it's getting weaker and weaker over time. The Overlord this time is going to be zoned away. Doesn't get into the main. eGGz being forced out to the open. Lings, they get us around. Next round, the Zealots, the Oracles, they can still support. Actually, another pulsar beam. Yeah, GG gets caught again. eGGz, he has run out of steam. And MasTeR, he survives the aggression, he survives the all-in, he takes game number 1. GG. Again, a very chaotic defense here, but a defense nonetheless. Very impressive when he was able to get on top of the Baneling, shut them down. He made use of his mineral line as well to be able to fight against those Lings. And the Banelings, they only really got one major connection. That was at the wall. When they busted down that front door, it happened twice, of course, where he broke through the pylon. Oh. But now we're getting ready for game number 2. Sorry, just making the lobby. Just making the lobby here. ¿A dónde está mi Cosmes? There he is. So we're getting into game 2, and again, GG well played. We saw that that MasTeR was able to pull off that defense, scramble for that defense as well. Shield barriers, they got up and running in time. Nice focus firing on those morphing and Banelings. As you mentioned, we never got any Banelings in the mineral lines. Only once they barely try to get in, getting a handful of probe kills in the end. Nice defense, and with that, we're getting into game 2, and we'll see if MasTeR can clean it up here and now, or if eGGz can fight back. Let's go. So we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Pylon, we have the pink Zerg player, the Colombian Zerg. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is eGGz. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. Low working out with a lot of bases he can macro at any time. That is not true. That is not true. If you recall, you say he has a lot of bases. He had an equivalent base count to his opponent with a lower probe counts. With a lower worker counts. Both players were on 3 bases. We had 3 hatcheries for eGGz. We had 3 Nexi for MasTeR. And eGGz, he failed to break either base. He failed to do economic damage. So choosing to drone from there is... at this level of play, it's just very, very difficult to recover from. He would have been playing from behind, especially because he spent all of his tech, everything when it came to the all-in, Banelings, the lair, the drop lords as well. So saying he could drone is not necessarily saying that he could like macro out and play a longer game. He would have just been playing from behind. There's a reason why like an all-in is called an all-in. Just because if you fail when it comes to your all-in, if you fail when it comes to your aggression, then you fall behind to the point where you should not be able to recover. There are ways to recover, of course. You can always go for like you can try to go for like a secondary all-in if you have the tech for it, referring to like roach based all-ins where you can just back off and drone up a little bit and then go for a second wave. But with Ling Bane, especially with this kind of setup, it's a little bit different. Here we go. So I do reject the framing that you can like quote unquote like macro at any time. As not the case. But here we go. So we're getting into game 2. Welcome to Pylon. Pylon is known for aggression, is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. And this is where all-ins can be favored. Now the reason for this is because 1, the rush distance by ground, 2, how open I should say the third base is, how accessible the third base is, the natural as well. So we have seen a lot of German taxis, for example. A lot of German taxis on Pylon. Here we go. We haven't seen Mute versus MasTeR on a League Elect. I mean, we haven't seen them, period. That's why I brought it up. Like, Mute and MasTeR, they've never played, unfortunately. As I was mentioning, it's because MasTeR does not play in other tournaments outside of... It's very rare for him to play in tournaments outside of the Brazilian scene. I think MasTer's played like in 2 PickStar Cups, like maybe 2 at most. But it is unfortunate. I would like to see more of MasTeR like branching out and playing in the Open Cups. Este MasTeR. Safari does pull in, does shade away. Assume they played on the ladder. Maybe. I say maybe just because I know that there are a lot of the pro players, even from Latino America, they prefer to like just ladder in Europe. Maybe. Depending on where they are. Meanwhile, MasTeR does go for a very fast forge. Hello. That is a forge before Twilight Council. You have my attention. The Oracles, they poke in, they do some damage here. Stays trap into the mineral line. As eGGz is going for the lair first. Lair before Evo Chamber. Indicative that we're not going to a Ling heavy style. Otherwise, we would have already seen an Evo Chamber by now. The faster forge, in my mind, would be for fast +1 into charge. Like this, in my mind, would be a charge timing. We'll keep an eye on the Twilight Council. This could still be Blink. But, again, very fast +1 into fast +2. Perhaps they move out across the map and show us that first upgrade. It is going to be Blink Stalkers. Okay, so if we're going to be rushing into +1, if we're going to Blink, we'll keep an eye on the gateway count. We could stay on a low base count here, stay up to 3 bases, go into 8 gateways, and go into a 3 base all-in. As one Oracle gets thrown away. MasTeR does overextend. At the same time, they do get into the mineral line. A couple of drones do go down. And our eyes are on the bases, our eyes are on the gateways, our eyes are on the gases. Yeah, 3 more gates on the way. That's going to be 6 in total, and we're looking for 2 more. As Adepts are surrounded, they're going to be shut down. Gases are being taken, which means no all-in. So no all-in with extra gases here, that's indicative that we're taking up in towards some splash damage after the gateway army. I say that. That's a massive gate. That's 5 gates. Okay. We have 5 more gates on the way. That's going to be how many? That's going to be 9 gates in total. Typically, we'd cut the gateways early and then expand, but we're getting up to 9 gateways. Temple Archives on the way. That explains the gases. So we have the gases getting in towards Storm. But MasTeR's delaying his 4th. MasTeR's 4th base is going to be late. In favor of just better production. They do drop into the main, not bad. Shatters to the Dropper Lord. 7 probes, not bad at all. 7 probes go down. Cannons are on the way. Very safe play here at a MasTeR. Specifically, just the fact that he has yet to expand. Has begun. Another link drop into the main. Still no 4th base out of MasTeR, just now on the way. MasTeR does push. We'll force a cancel. Not bad. Now, I was talking about how MasTeR's 4th is late. True. You know what's also late? eGGz's 4th base. eGGz, he does not have a 4th, so this is actually worse for the Zerg player here. For MasTeR to stay on an equivalent base count to the Zerg is perfectly fine. And this is probably actually why MasTeR is staying on 3 bases, is because the 4th base is non-existent for eGGz. So why expand? Storm is on the way. We see Mass Hydra massing here for eGGz. It's a lot of Hydras. Another cancel, another denial. Oh, getting it once again. MasTeR backs up. MasTeR pulls away. Again, still no 4th expansion. eGGz commits across the map. Storm is still not yet done. That temple's revealed. eGGz is unaware about the Storm timing. Playing it safe. And Eggs now he's taking up. Hive is on the way. Lurker Den is on the way. Fourth base is still a ways away. Without those extra gases, I mean, he can't really afford too many lurkers. But this is, I would say, kind of a messy game state here for both players. Fourth base is cancelled. Storm is not done. Same time, Eggs coming in from behind. Setting up for a surround. Comes down to the storms. It's a cancellation. That's the second cancel here from MasTeR. Cells, they distract the army. They force back Eggs, and finally MasTeR can establish his fourth. Now, as we do settle in, who do we favor getting into this kind of game state? I do still favor MasTeR, as we mentioned before, because Eggs' fourth was so delayed. MasTeR could get away with a later fourth base. Now there are 8 lurkers in production. Eggs is now joining up. How many High Templar are only 4? So not that many storms. And now that lurkers have hit the field, Eggs he can hold. He can hold, he can defend. Meanwhile, we have a lurker drop into the main. Let's go. Este huevito. Lurkers are making their way in. And no detection, period. Okay. So there we go. Revelation. Thankfully, there's a revelation. At the same time, Eggs, he does go straight for the fourth. MasTeR out of position. Fourth base is going to go down. And not just the fourth base, 13 probes as well. MasTeR just cannot engage. And Eggs is maxing. Yeah, he's maxing out. MasTeR just could never get his fourth up and running. And it's still only 4 High Templar. And MasTeR, he has a bank. He has 1,000 gas in the bank. We need more storms. He dies on the main army. There's a first storm. Cleans up this force at least, but at the same time Eggs just goes to the counterattack. MasTeR warping in defensive stalkers. Cybercore goes down, and we're going for a pseudo base trade. Yeah, we're committing across the map. Barely gets a lurker. But it feels like MasTeR is falling apart here. Daniel's missing warp-ins. Caught out of position. Was playing overly safe. And Eggs, you can just keep pushing in. You can just keep going, heading into the main. Going to the main base, getting into the forge, getting into the nexus. And sure, MasTeR is killing a hatchery, but that doesn't really matter. Like Eggs, he still has his natural, his third, his main base up and running. He has lurkers eventually back at home. And MasTeR cannot move in. Yeah, GG gets called. He cannot push in, and Eggs ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to game 3 here. Again, it was a bit of an awkward game where both players kind of refused to expand here. We saw that MasTeR, he was stuck on a lower base count that much longer. Ley lines. Okay, sorry, just setting up the lobby. Beautiful. Setting up the lobby. Loading into ley lines for game number 3. But again, it was a really awkward game state where both players were staying on a lower base, kind of lower economy. Eggs, he was able to preserve his Hydras and get into lurker tech. He was able to get into lurker tech, and MasTeR, he was just stuck on a really weird composition as well, where MasTeR was just missing warp-ins, he was caught out of position, his fourth base was cancelled like 3 different times. You can also argue that the map itself was kind of, working in Eggs' favor there, MasTeR having a hard time with the aggressive nature of Pylon. GG. GG. And hopefully everything's okay with MasTeR. He got caught out of position around the 4th base. He got caught out of position a couple of times. If you recall, we had the Ling drop in the main base, which got 7 probe kills. We got 7 probes in the main. Likewise, if you recall, we did mention how the 4th base was cancelled 3 different times. So it took a while to actually establish the 4th base. That also slowed down MasTeR. Here we go. Beautiful. So we are loading in. So loading into the ace match here. And here we're going to be loading into ley lines. This is going to be a bit of a larger map compared to Pylon. Aggression is not as favored. I will say it's easier to defend and to turtle up on this map. We spoke earlier about the rush distance, about how aggressive you can be. Like, again, Pylon was favoring who would be the aggressor in that last game, which was eGGz. Here, MasTeR should be a lot more comfortable, but we'll see what builds we go for. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Colombian Zerg player. We have the pink Zerg. Oh, tying up the series 1-1, it is eGGz. I'll fix up the colors. Un moment. There we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. Here we go. If you stay in position at the 4th base, you lose the other bases. That is not necessarily true. It's not about staying in position at the 4th base. It's about being aware of the army movements and being aware of the army rotation. So if the army were to go to the 4th or the 3rd, to be able to keep up with that movement of said army. We're referring specifically to the time when MasTeR was in the center of the map. He was pushing in the center, pushing towards the 4th base as his 4th was hit, and then he had to race back home. Specifically referring to the fact that MasTeR didn't know where eGGz was, right? Didn't know where the main army was. So now we're selling in. So far, just gate expand, standard setup here out of MasTeR. And we'll see if MasTeR goes for the early +1 again. We'll see if eGGz stays on the lower base counts. Show us what you got. Getting across the map. We have yet to really see MasTeR deviate from Stargate play, and once again, Stargate opened out of MasTeR, so he's opening up in a standard fashion. Again, I feel like the reason why MasTeR stayed on 3 bases for so long was just because eGGz was doing the same. So we'll see if he gets into a faster economic setup this time, or stronger economic setup. MasTeR, I mean. Does move out. See what we can get done. So far, it gets a tumor. Tumor goes down, Zergling as well, pulls away. Not bad. Bearing in mind the tool-ups can one-shot workers, so it's something that eGGz has to respect, has to keep up with. So far, so good. MasTeR claiming his 3rd, and we'll keep an eye on MasTeR's follow-up, the timing of the Twilight Council, the Forge, the upgrades. As Eggs, he doesn't quite delay the expansion, gets a probe. It's a probe kill, Adepts shade into the mineral line, and getting one, getting up to 2 drones. 2 drones go down, and Lings, they're still in production. And this is getting a little bit out of hand as Eggs, he has 0 economy at the natural. Adepts shade away, 1 drone mining at the natural base. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal damage. And MasTeR not done. Does catch the Zerglings. Lings any picked off. This time we're going for a faster Twilight Council, and there's no Forge. Yeah, a bit of a delayed Forge here. Part of me feels like maybe it's just MasTeR focusing on his aggression. So his build behind this is a little bit shaky. Oh, no, never mind. No, it's intentional. I was like, there's no Forge. I wonder if that's what it is. We're going into Glaive Depths. So a Glaive Depths follow up here. That's why there's no Forge. No +1. Going for 4 gateways, and we can afford extra gateways behind this. Now, bearing in mind, this is not all-in. This is not all-in. It is hyper-aggression out of MasTeR. Designed to punish a player that does decide to skip roaches. As we can see, Roach Warren is on the way. So Eggs is playing it safe. He does play it safe. He does have SimCity here as well to fully wall off. Eggs doesn't know what's coming his way, but he's not cutting corners regardless. So Eggs, he has the tools to defend. But we'll see when he scouts the move out, if at all. As MasTeR is banking up those Adepts. So far he's up to 9. Getting up to 11. Here comes the move out. And Eggs does not see this. Thankfully, he's making 8 roaches. 8 roaches are on the way. Drop Lord into the main base as well. Let's take him into the shade. They get into the mineral line. Catching out a couple of drones. 4 drones going down. Roaches are amassing just in time. Eggs, he doesn't wall off though. Oh. Likewise though, MasTeR does not shade. Does cancel. Cancels shade, one of the oracles goes down, and for the most part, Eggs is defending. Eggs, he defends, he holds, these Adepts, they were hoping for more damage. Doesn't go in. Eggs, the defense is decent. Overall speed is on the way. How many queens? 4. Only 4 queens. Are we gonna commit? Like, an overlord speed at this timing is kind of unorthodox. Things are dealt with. But I don't know if I should be reading too much into it. If this was any other player, I'd be like, oh, he's going for like a Roach Queen all in with like a German tag, like a delayed German taxi. But Eggs might decide to drone. And there it is. 13 more drones on the way. He's droning. Hydrogen's in production as well. Eggs is building up into a longer game. Okay. I mean, Eggs, he's still sustained a lot of damage and he has still a lot of droning to do. And MasTeR, meanwhile, he is not touching Storm. He's now going into the Temple Archives, but if you can see here, he's building up towards an earlier push, a bit of a Soul Train. We have Mass Sentry Immortal, an earlier move out designed to shut down Roach-based armies. Eggs, he's in trouble. This army is terrifying. We have Adepts for the Zerglings, and of course the Immortals for the Roaches. Let's see if we can lock down the army. Let's do Graze the Immortal. Ravager goes down. Oh. Yeah, locks down the army, gets 1, gets almost 2. So 1. Plus transfuse. But there's just nothing here. Yeah, there's just not enough roaches. Not enough roaches, not enough support for the army. Lings that get dealt with. And MasTeR's just going for the kill, going for the throat. Remember, Eggs, he was re-droning instead of building up an army. He was not expecting a follow-up. Not this quickly. And MasTeR just snowballs out of control. Did make a series out of it to go to the ace match, but yeah, last MasTeR, he will take it. The boys are being pulled into Glaive Adepts. Oh god. Boys, get out of here. No. As Eggs is making his final stand. Down to 3 roaches. GG gets called, and MasTeR, he will step out of control. He will take the series at 2-1. GG. GG, well played. I'm sure eGGz was expecting MasTeR to be taking up like we expect, right? Getting a 4th base, working towards Storm, probing up as well. But no, MasTeR instead he pushed on 3 bases. He pushed on 3 bases, he worked in sentries, got more immortals. Unfortunately, eGGz was unaware. He was unaware of what was going on. That's why instead he was droning up to what, 71, 73, was droning quite heavily instead of building up his army. GG. GG, well played. And with that, MasTeR does claim the series, does take down El Huevito. GG. GG, well played. And with that, it looks like we are going to be having an extended break here. I believe over on the mainstream, Zonrigub and the rest of the crew are going to be maybe doing some challenges. Like, we've reached that halfway mark. And I think they do have some things planned here. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay, so we just wrapped up the 4th round. Currently, I believe they're going to be having a Cheeto eating contest. I don't know what that entails. I don't understand. I'm not fully aware. What does it say on Maturino? Because I know that they reached that goal. Okay, flaming hot Cheeto eating. Okay. There we go. Steadfast versus Chicken Man. So after the current series, right now the mainstream, they're covering Special versus Estrella. When they wrap up, apparently Chicken Man and Steadfast, they're going to be having a flaming hot Cheeto challenge. There you go. So best of luck. I don't know how well they handle their spice. I don't I don't know who to. You know what, I think I'm gonna lean towards Chicken Man. I feel like I have to. Chicken Man, he's you know, he's a fellow animal, you know, not quite a duck, but chicken, it's close enough. He looks like he can handle his spice. Maybe. I'll be honest, I don't think either of them can, but but I mean, that's the point, right? That's the point, is that they're probably putting up like the least tolerant casters they have. Oh no. Best of luck, Mackie. Best of luck. So that's what they're going to be hosting after their current series. And then once they're done, then we'll be going back into the swing of things. Our next series on the channel should be, let me just double check, Chan versus MasTeR. Okay, so we're going to be following MasTeR into El Chamaco. So Chan versus MasTeR is going to be up next on the channel. But again, there's going to be an extended break. And remember, this is going to be round 5, and there are 7 rounds in total. There are 2 more rounds after this. Fun fact, I don't actually know what we're going to be casting towards the tail end of the broadcast, just because the mainstream have to decide first. So it's going to be on them after the Cheeto challenge. They'll be picking and choosing what to cast for round 6 and what to cast for round 7. When it comes to the overall standings, let's have a look at the bracket. !B in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. I believe the Wikipedia page has been updated. What are the standings looking like? Okay, from the top we have Special. Oh, Juanito. Okay, Juanito so far undefeated. Now I say that Special currently is playing against Estrella. You can actually see them down here. Yeah. You can see here, Special and Estrella, they're currently in the ace match. They're currently on the mainstream. Oh, Chan beat Trigger. Let's go. Este chamaco. He beat Trigger 2-1. Este Chan. So Special, he's in first place. We have Trigger in second, Cham in third. It looks like we have a really close scorer. The Cham in third, MasTeR in fourth, and we're tied 3-1. Trigger, Cham, and MasTeR. Jesus, very, very, very close between the players. And scrolling down here, we have Dolan in the center, in the middle of the pack. I feel like Estrella has been a little bit underwhelming, but it makes sense if you're familiar with the current state of StarCraft or the current state of Estrella's play. You will know that Estrella, he has not been active. Like Estrella, he has not been playing StarCraft in quite some time, basically ever since EWC. So post EWC, Estrella, he has been on a big break. He's been on a big hiatus, so he is currently out of practice. He's currently not in peak condition. So we would typically, if this was Estrella, you know, a couple of months ago, we'd expect him to be like top two alongside Trigger. But again, Estrella has not been playing, he's not been streaming, he's not been active, and as a result, I mean, the results, his scoreline here does reflect that. Then we have eGGz and Foxer at the bottom of the standings as well. So I do want to see more Estrella, don't get me wrong. I want him to make it out of the groups, but again, he's got to really, you know, lock in. He's got to lock in and really ramp it up here. And it is difficult when you are out of practice. And instead we have a little more Latin Dominican representation. Oh boy. So far, again, the standings are looking decent here for our current top 4, but we'll see, as we still have 3 more rounds ahead of us. Still 3 more rounds to go. But for now, we're going to be going on a break. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. Sorry, I say short. We're going to be going for an extended break, so take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain disruptors, massage your marines, and check out the mainstream. Check out ZombieGub's channel, as again, they're going to be having their Flaming Hot Cheeto challenge soon. We're going to be having it soon. See you soon. See you soon after the break. Oh.